There's a mindset that almost all beautiful women have that's almost essential to turn on high quality men. I'm not going to make you wait for it. It is assuming attraction. They assume that men are attracted to them. And you may say, well, Jason, that's obvious. It's because men are attracted to them. But let me tell you, having this mindset in and of itself actually perpetuates how men view you and how attractive you are to high quality men. In this video, I'm going to explain why this mindset is so magnetic and attractive to men and exactly how you can take that on for yourself. Hi, I'm Jason Silver. I am the dating coach for ambitious women. In this channel, Attract Great Guys, I break down strategies and mindsets on exactly what you can do to attract higher quality men in your own life. So please become a subscriber, hit the red subscribe button beneath the video and the little notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming trainings. Now, assuming attraction is exactly how it sounds. If you walk into a room and there's another man there, you're going to assume that he's physically attracted to you. That sounds really simple. However, it can be very challenging, especially if there's any insecurities that you may have about your looks. But I want to break down and tell you why exactly this is so effective. The first reason is that when you're assuming attraction, it removes the sense of neediness, that you need his validation. And neediness is actually anchored in fear. And when we feel fear, which results in us being needy and needing other people to validate that we shouldn't be afraid of how we look, when we need that validation from other people, we're exuding fear onto them. And people can feel that. And when you are acting in fear, other people feel that fear, and no one wants to feel fear. No one likes that feeling. So typically people are repelled from others that are exuding fearful energy, and they are attracted to people that are feeling a secure, confident energy. It's just kind of the way of the world and how we work as human beings. So you want to avoid exuding any fearful energy. Now, sometimes what that fearful energy can do is it can actually attract the wrong kind of man. So if there's certain men that are preying on women who feel fearful and insecure, then it will attract them. But assuming attraction typically will attract a higher quality man who exudes more confidence and self-love. So that's why coming from a place of confidence and assuming attraction is going to be more attractive than when you assume that someone might not be attracted to you and you're kind of hoping that they are attracted to you. So that's one of the major benefits of assuming attraction. But along those lines, when you assume attraction, it increases your self-confidence. And when you have increased self-confidence, you're basically putting out into the world that, hey, I'm awesome, right? I feel great, I look great, I know I look great. And when you view yourself like that, it makes it easier for other people to view you like that as well. And that's basically using the influence principle of social proof. We look to other people for cues on how to act and what to believe. It's kind of like if someone is running towards us screaming, we're probably going to run in the direction they're running because we're going to use them and their experience as a safety net for us to view the world, because there's too much going on for us to process everything. So we have to rely on the people around us to do some of that processing for us. So if you're already looking at yourself like you're someone of high value, it makes it much easier for someone else to view you in the same way. And also, if you're more physically confident, it actually changes your energy and how you're able to flirt with a man. So if you're walking down the street and you're feeling insecure and fearful and an attractive guy looks at you, well, the first thing most likely that you're going to do is look down and away, because the first thought that you're feeling is judgment and fear. However, if you're coming from a place of confidence, knowing and feeling that you're very attractive, and a man looks at you, well, that's a good thing because he's attracted to you. So you might hold that eye contact for a little longer. You might even smile at him because in your mind, hey, this guy thinks I'm attractive. I'm going to let him know that I think he's attractive too. I'm going to smile at him. I might even say hello. So it changes your reactions, and those reactions inherently change your ability to flirt and build connection with the men around you. And when you're reacting with different physical cues, it actually increases your physical attraction because you're more attractive when you're smiling with that sparkle in your eye, or your body posture is standing up tall and proud, and maybe you're even moving in a feminine, seductive way because you're feeling like, hey, I got my groove going on, right? I feel great. I see this guy, he's looking at me. I'm feeling great about how I'm walking and how I look. It changes your whole demeanor. And when there's a woman walking down the street confidently, feeling sexy, it definitely looks different than if you're walking down the street feeling like crap and feeling judged. And another benefit is that you're going to take more chances, right? If you're up to bat, you're going to swing more times, because if you assume that a man is attracted to you, then why wouldn't you smile at him? Or why wouldn't you go ahead and ask a guy out and be bold, or wave to someone at a bar? Do things that you might not normally do, kind of getting outside your comfort zone and be vulnerable and risk rejection. And you're going to do that because it doesn't feel like the end of the world, like there's only one man who's attracted to you, because men are attracted to you all the time. So why not try to be flirtatious with one guy? You've got nothing to lose, and there's plenty of opportunities in the future. It changes your mindset and allows you to put yourself out there. And obviously, the more that you put yourself out there, the higher chance that you'll have of actually meeting someone. When was the last time that you put yourself out there, that you were vulnerable, that you risked rejection in order to try to go for that higher quality guy? How often have you let your eyes linger on someone who's looking at you, an attractive guy? How often have you told maybe a friend or someone close to you that you really like him and you would like to go out on a date, or even just letting him know that you're physically attracted to him? How often do you do that? Typically, we wait. We wait and we wait and we wait until it's too late. And we never take that chance. So assuming attraction, it builds that confidence. It allows you to take more chances, to be more vulnerable. And ultimately, when you're putting and throwing more spaghetti against the wall, more spaghetti is going to stick. You're going to have more opportunities to match up with that high quality man. Now you might be asking yourself, well, Jason, isn't this like the direct path to being a sociopath or a narcissist? Isn't this very arrogant? How is it helpful for you to go around and just assume that other men are attracted to you? That just seems a little bit stuck up. Well, what's the alternative to that? And think about it for a second. If, let's say you're walking down the street with a woman who you think is highly attractive, you think she's absolutely beautiful. In your mind, she's beautiful and high value. Why would you assume that other men are attracted to her, but you wouldn't make that same assumption about yourself? Obviously, there's some judgment that you have. And if you're going to be judging yourself, why not judge yourself as being beautiful? This is really about loving yourself in the same way that you might love or respect a high value woman. And when we begin to love ourselves, it makes it much easier for other people to love us as well. And again, what if you're wrong? What if someone isn't attracted to you? Well, what's the worst thing that can happen? The worst thing that can happen is that, okay, you're wrong. Maybe you smile at them and maybe they weren't attracted to you before, but all of a sudden your confidence and your self-love, maybe it flipped it around and maybe they became more attracted to you, which is typically what happens and why it perpetuates how men view you, just by feeling and more self-confident and more attractive. But if you're wrong and you get rejected, well, that's probably way better than you already assuming they don't like you and just never taking the chance. Because if you never take the chance, you'll never know and you'll never have opportunities that you might have had otherwise. So I don't see any risk. I guess the risk of you not assuming attraction is to say that you're just having no expectations. That's great, but you're basically not really valuing yourself or looking at yourself as beautiful as maybe you could be. Because I guarantee you, if we walk to the edge of the Grand Canyon and look out and we look to the person next to us, we say, wow, isn't this just beautiful? We just assume that they think that this is beautiful. And again, why not view yourself with that same love and admiration, that you've been given this gift of your body, and why not learn to appreciate it? Now, let me tell you the easiest way to do this, especially if you don't believe it. If you think, Jason, whatever, I'm not that hot, I'm not that attractive, I can sit here and assume it, but I'll be wrong. It's just not going to work. Well, let me tell you a little hack that you can do to assume attraction. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to have any conviction about it. You just need to act as if. That's the key. Act as if men are attracted to you. And all you have to ask yourself is this: what if you 100% knew that this man was attracted to you? How would you act and what would you do? If you can answer that question, hear an answer, and then act as if this man were 100% attracted to you, that is the best way to begin to assume attraction. And again, if you're wrong, what's the worst thing that can happen? What if he's a good friend of yours and you're finally, for the first time after many years, opening up and sharing that you're attracted to him, or making some moves or being more flirtatious? Well, would you rather do that rather than being inauthentic in a friendship for years and years and years only to have nothing happen. Life is too short, and it's so important for us to fully express ourselves. And the best way to do that is through assuming attraction. And if he rejects you, that's great. That's awesome. Because the more rejections that you can experience and survive, the more that you can learn that rejection is not the worst thing in the world, that you can survive it. Most of the time, most of our lives, we spend trying to avoid rejection. And then if you speak with anyone that works in hospice or is with dying people, all of those same people said, I wish I risked more. I wish I lived more. Nobody at the end of their life regrets taking chances and truly living. So I encourage you to get rejected more and learn that it's not that big of a deal and that you will survive a rejection. It will be okay. I had a very shy client who lived in Manhattan, and I had her every single day after work. This was very unique to her, but every single day after work, I had her go up and approach attractive men and start flirting with them. Just start a conversation. And she literally did this every single day after work. She started conversations. It completely changed her life because she actually started getting asked out and going on dates with men that were just so far beyond anyone that she ever thought would ask her out on a date. And she became so confident. And it was really scary and really hard for her because she was introverted to go up and begin these conversations. But she realized that the risk involved in these interactions and in rejection was so minimal compared to what she thought it was in her mind that it made it much easier. And her life is forever changed. So again, I encourage you to go out there and ask yourself, what if I 100% knew that this man were attracted to me? How would I act? What would I do in that moment? And then try to act as if. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions or experiences. Please become a subscriber, and I'll see you next week where we'll go through another training on how to attract a high-quality man. Thanks so much.